Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Tamanna Awakens, which is your sacred space for healing, for introspection, and also for awakening. So, today is Shadow Work Sundays, and here we deal with all the wounds, with all the insecurities that we have inside us, which keep us from growing, which keep us from exploring the life, and which keep us from awakening. So, today I want to talk about the insecurities that are there inside us, and the emotion that I want to speak upon you, I want to share with you is jealousy. Jealousy is something that each one of us has inside us. There is definitely jealousy, but we do not acknowledge it. We always stay in denial. We always keep on telling ourselves that we are not jealous. We are not jealous. That is the thing which keeps us from combating jealousy. You know where this comes from? Jealousy comes from seeing somebody and then realizing a fact that you lack that thing what other person is having. You realize that you are not enough, that maybe something is missing in you. Like, just imagine a situation where you are inside your office and one of your colleagues has recently joined and you have been associated with that workplace, you and your workplace bestie, and then for the last 3-4 years you have been getting all the praises, you have been asked to do all the lead works and you have been leading the team. But then suddenly when that person comes, he or she starts getting all the praises, he or she starts getting all the acknowledgements, he or she starts being the center of attention. What happens? Of course, you feel jealous. Of course, your workplace bestie feels jealous. And what happens is, when you suppress that emotion, when you do not acknowledge that jealousy, you start gossiping about that new person. You start creating controversies about that person. You start manipulating things that are going to be against that person. Right? Are you connecting with me? Because this has seriously happened with me and my workplace bestie, and we do feel jealous. We do acknowledge it, but we do not name it. We feel guilty about it. We feel shameful about it, but still we do not acknowledge it that we are getting jealous. And that's okay, we are humans. But unless your insecurity is not going to be acknowledged, unless you are going to be in denial, you can never ever overcome that insecurity. Right. So how can we basically combat this insecurity? First thing we need to do is we need to acknowledge that we are getting jealous. We need to acknowledge the emotion, no matter how negative the emotion is, no matter how fearful we get, no matter how lacking we feel, like how much of a suppression we feel that we are not enough, that there is something which is lacking inside us, there is something that the other person has more than us. But unless you acknowledge it, you cannot ever combat that insecurity. And once you acknowledge, once you realize the fact that there's nothing wrong with you, you are enough of yourselves. There might be some qualities that there will be inside you. There might be some qualities that there might be inside that person. And you cannot simply compare both of yourselves, right? At that moment, you will confront your jealousy, you will confront your insecurity, and everything will come at peace. What else you can do is, you can go to that person, you can praise that person about the thing that you somehow feel is there inside that person, which is commanding attention from all other peers, which is commanding, love and more of praise from all other peers, but somehow you are feeling jealous of it. So either you can praise that person, you can literally go and confront them. There is no harm in praising somebody for something that is there inside them and you feel it's not inside them. Or either what you can do is, you can go to that person, talk to them, and you can ask them to, acknowledge or adapt that skill. If you feel somebody is really good with teamwork, you can go confess them and also ask some tips that how can you also do that good teamwork. If you feel somebody is really confident, is having some really good communication skills, you can go to them and really ask them to help you, guide you with all those things. Rather than getting envious of somebody, rather than getting jealous of somebody, when you learn that skill, when you confront them and when you acknowledge your jealousy, that insecurity dies at that same place. And what you learn is what you can adapt in future, what you can help other persons with that in the future. And that is not something you should feel ashamed of, that is not something you should feel guilty of. Jealousy or your insecurities are somehow your soul's calling, which are asking you to pay attention, which are asking you to outgrow yourselves, which is asking you to learn something which can be of a definitely good help to you or your surroundings in future. So the moment you turn jealousy into your strength, you acknowledge your insecurity, that becomes your teacher and not your weakness. That is a very, very beautiful point. So few tips that can help you combat jealousy and that can help you get a control over your insecurity, not from day one, but definitely with regular practice, with mindfulnesses. Name it without being ashamed. If you feel jealous of somebody, acknowledge that you are feeling jealous of somebody. Talk to that person, confront it, tell them you are feeling jealous, tell them that you might do something which is not okay, but please, please ask them to forgive you, and ask yourself also to forgive you when you do something wrong out of jealousy. Once you name that you are getting jealous, you really lose that emotion's power over you. You get really confrontational, you get really acknowledged, you really get powered over that emotion, and that emotion can no longer harm you. The second thing that you can do is stop judging yourself. Each human has been incarnated with the most beautiful spiritual combinations, with the most beautiful spiritual qualities, and you are not lacking something in yourselves. Every individual is worth of living, every individual is enough in themselves. When you stop comparing yourself with somebody, when you start outgrowing your own self, rather than feeling lacking for something, rather than feeling like you are short of something, you really outgrow yourself. And when you outgrow yourself, you can combat anything in the world. Your mind cannot control you, but then you start controlling your thoughts, how you see the outer world, how you see the things that are inside you. So what your inner world reflects in you, you start reflecting it to the outer world. One more tip that can really help you is that be on your sacred timeline. Stop comparing yourself. Stop looking for your disqualities. Stop looking for things that what the other person has achieved and you haven't achieved till the same time, because each one of us is on a sacred timeline. Each one of us will get everything that we are meant to achieve with our karmas, with our destiny, with our willpower. But if we keep on getting jealous, if we keep on feeling envious of the other people, we will someday shrink ourselves so much that rather than taking steps and being fully abundant, being fully aware, we will somehow start feeling jealous and we will shrink ourselves to depression, to anxiety, and to being underconfident. So, stop feeling jealous, acknowledge that you are having some insecurity, and with time and with awareness, you can tackle it. Praise somebody for their skills, praise somebody for something that you feel you do not have but they are having, and name your emotion, name your insecurities. This will really help you combat all the things, all the insecurities that are inside you. Stop feeling ashamed of all the insecurities. Sit with yourself, acknowledge them, and let your soul tell you what you need to learn, what you need to work upon to outgrow yourselves. So until next Sunday, please try to journal on something that you are getting jealous of, and take care of yourselves. God bless you all. This is Tamanna signing off for this Shadow Work Sundays. Let's stay awakened in our shadows. Let's combat our shadows one by one and take care of ourselves really well to not feel that we are not worth enough. Take care of yourselves. God bless you all with all the abundance, with all the happiness. And I'll see you on next Shadow Work Sundays.